I'll give a clear view of my shirt so it's not a question on your mind the whole time. So last time, chapter 9 got really weird toward the end. People who deal with the consequences of your mistake face further consequences. Like, what the fuck? You actually are punishing them for being punished. Like, was it bad that Noah drank the wine? It doesn't seem bad. He's not punished. God still seems favorable toward him. It was only bad that the kid walked in on him and then tried to cover it up. Which part was bad? Was just seeing it bad? Was trying to cover it bad? Was involving the brothers bad? It's so vague and like it doesn't make any fucking sense either way. What are we supposed to take from this? What is the lesson supposed to be? I'm also curious about the first 10 books of the Bible so far, first 9 altogether. What are we supposed to have learned so far? Because the way I read it, like, it's not a good story. It's not teaching us anything useful. It's punishing us and it's telling us to be ashamed of ourselves just for being the way that we are, whether God made us or whether we just sprang up. We had the history of the generations of the sons of Adam, which culminated in Noah. Now we're going for the history of the generations of sons of Noah and of the Three Stooges. Now this is the history of the generations of the sons of Noah and of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth were Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. The sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. The sons of Javan were Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. Of these were the islands of the nations divided in their lands, everyone after his language, after their families, in their nations. The sons of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush were Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Rama, and Sabteka. The sons of Rama were Sheba and Dedan. Cush became the father of Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before Yahweh. Therefore it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before Yahweh. I've never heard that said. We got more crazy names I've never heard, so I'm doing my best. But we have some repetition from the rivers and the countries that were mentioned in the creation part. So we have Cush as the son of Ham. We have Canaan, who has been cursed for his father seeing his grandfather's junk. Canaan was cursed. We have Havilah, the place of gold. But like all of this is just names and people and places that don't have any real meaning. Like, are we supposed to connect them to historical figures, to real life places and people? It gives the illusion of a very complicated and deep world, but it's just a bunch of names. But, you know, we're still in the first book. I don't know how much of these names and places and people will come up in the future, and yeah. We'll pick up at verse 10. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. Out of that land he went into Assyria and built Nineveh, Rehoboth, Calah, and Rezen between Nineveh and the great city Calah. Mizraim became the father of Ludim, Enamim, Lehabim, Naphtuhim, Pathrusim, Casluhim, which the Philistines descended from, and Caphtorim. I don't really know any of these things. I've heard of Philistines. If I remember right, my mom would say something like, you Philistine, or something, you know, like it wasn't a good thing, you didn't want to be that. I don't know what it's supposed to mean. I should know, I think, but I didn't pay attention in church because it was all stupid and nonsensical, so I spent a lot of time in my own head instead, which I am grateful for. I think that was the right call. If this stuff was any deeper in my mind than it already was, I don't think I'd be here. I don't know. It's hard to say. Canaan became the father of Sidon, his firstborn, Heth, the Jebusites, the Amorites, the Girgashites, the Hivites, the Archites, the Sinites, the Arvadites, the Zemarites, and the Hamathites. Afterward, the families of the Canaanites were spread abroad. The border of the Canaanites was from Sidon, as you go toward Gerar, to Gaza, as you go towards Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Zeboim, to Lasha. These are the sons of Ham after their families, according to their languages, in their lands and their nations. Children were also born to Shem, the elder brother of Japheth, the father of all the children of Eber. The sons of Shem were Elam, Ashur, Arpachshad, Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram were Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash. Arpachshad became the father of Shelah. Shelah became the father of Eber. To Eber were born 2 sons. The name of the one was Peleg, for in his days the earth was divided. His brother's name was Joktan. Joktan became the father of Olmodad, Shelef, Hazarmaveth, Jerah, Hadaram, Uzal, Dikla, Obal, Abimael, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan. Their dwelling extended from Mesha as you go towards Sephar, the mountain of the east. These are the sons of Shem by their families, according to their languages, lands, and nations. These are the families of the sons of Noah by their generations, according to their nations, the nations divided from these in the earth after the flood. So I'm curious whether any of these are real people. How much can you trace these families? How important will they be? Obviously, I've heard some of these names, Sodom and Gomorrah. They have a whole thing later. But mostly this just seems like a skippable chapter. I'm not even sure what it's trying to say. It's just there were people, they went places, and I think he's trying to tie in his myth with real world, locations and families maybe even. But like, to get to this point, we went through so much completely unrealistic bullshit. Like, you're not fooling me. I know you're still making this shit up, man. But we'll read over the King James Version. I'll do my best with the names again. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshech, and Tiras. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Riphath, and Togarmah. And the sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, every one after his tongue, after their families, in their nations. So is the Gentiles the... Oh, of these were the islands of the nations divided into their lands. The Gentiles in this version. And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Phut, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Seba, and Havilah, and Sabta, and Ramah, and Sabteka. And the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan. And Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord, wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod the mighty hunter before the Lord. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar. Out of that land went forth Ashur, and builded Nineveh, and the city Rehoboth, and Calah. In Rezen, between Nineveh and Calah, the same is a great city. And Mizraim begat Ludim, and Anamim, and Lehabim, and Naphtuhim, and Pathrusim, and Casluhim, out of whom came Philistim, and Caphtorim. And Canaan begat Sidon his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgasite, and the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite, and afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad. And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon, as thou comest to Gerar, unto Gaza, as thou goest, unto Sodom, and Gomorrah, and Admah, and Zeboim, even unto Lasha. These are the sons of Ham, after their families, after their tongues, in their countries and in their nations. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth the elder, even to him were children born. The children of Shem, Elam, and Asher, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram. The children of Aram, Uz, and Hul, and Gether, and Mash. And Arphaxad begat Salah, and Salah begat Eber. And unto Eber were born 2 sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. And Joktan begat Almodad, and Shelef, and Hazarmaveth, and Jerah. And Hadaram, and Uzal, and Dikla, and Obal, and Abimael, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan. And their dwelling was from Mesha, as thou goest unto Sephar, a mount of the east. These are the sons of Shem, after their families, after their tongues, in their lands, after their nations. These are the families of the sons of Noah, after their generations, in their nations. And by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood. So I guess they're saying this is how the world was after the flood, like just Noah's descendants repopulating the earth now that Adam's other descendants had all been wiped out. Um, sure, I guess. Well, I don't, I didn't agree with the Adam creation myth in the first place. I don't agree with the flood myth. I don't agree with this repopulation myth. I do believe there probably were big floods, like definitely. I don't think it was a kill everyone except the people on the boat situation, though. But yeah, that's it for chapter 10. Not a lot to say because it's another one about lineage and, the relevance of these people and places. We'll just have to wait and see whether there is any. As for what you can get out of this chapter just by itself, I don't really know. Hope, I guess, because like after a big disaster like the flood, you can still repopulate the entire planet just with good old-fashioned elbow grease or other fluids. And next time, we'll take a look at chapter 11.